know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag. Marcus Dash here, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is the best time of the year. Our Chiefs may not be playing right now, but you got NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, even though my Sixers are unfortunately out, but still a lot of stuff to be bet on. BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoffs. All the latest stats, news, and scores are available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds, lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Remember, bet online where the game starts. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Tight End at Monday night. For some of you guys, it's almost Tuesday, but I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. JD, how we doing, brother?
What's going on, Marcus? How you doing, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
Good, man. Listen. You look like you
up today.
Yeah, no, it looks nice and bright, man. We get to see your curly hair, your blue eyes, and we get to see all those things, man. You know, they were trying to make you seem like you look like, who's that? Nunez? Who's the kid off of
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie, yeah, that guy. So I don't know, man. I told you, man, you look more like the dude that played the Moon Knight to me. So, but you out now, Holly? What you doing out there, man? Yeah, are you going out there? Maybe doing some acting or something? What's going on? Got a role happening?
You know, after I saw your post last week, JD, I think I'm gonna have to might have to do some auditions, send my audition tapes out to all these producers and stuff. But no, I'm out here. It's one of my buddies is getting married. I'm in his wedding. He's actually getting married to the San Francisco 49ers main reporter, Lindsay Paredes. So you guys have probably seen some of her stuff on Instagram. And when we were playing the 49ers, she had some pretty good content out there. So apparently there's going to be some 49ers brass there, some front office people at the wedding. So, you know, maybe I can talk to them about getting Brandon Ayuk over to Kansas City. We'll see. We'll see how far in depth I get into those conversations. But so right now I'm in Riverside, California. My girlfriend's sister lives out here. And I'll be going to Los Angeles on Wednesday to see our guy Tage. Tage will be on our show Wednesday as we break in the full schedule Wednesday. So we'll have all three of us on the show. We'll two of us together. But yeah, so it'll be a West Coast trip. So that's why we are getting started a little late here. So we apologize for some of that. For the people who are upset about being late today, and maybe people who will catch us tomorrow morning. But we had to make some accommodations for the hours behind. So
it's all right, man. You know, listen, we see some of our faithful out here, you know, that came and stayed up with us tonight. Maria, Wendy, Amda Brown, about time. So it's always good to see Vegas Chief Kingdom. It's always good to see the people, see the folks, man. So I'm glad to see them out. We're going to have a good time tonight. So whoever's in here, come and say hello, ask some questions. We're going to comment a little bit. Some good things to talk about, I think, in the kingdom. So we'll see what's going on, man. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, we went to dinner, some Mexican restaurant in Riverside or Corona, California. It's like right down the street from Riverside. There was a guy there wearing a Mahomes jersey. So I mean, Chiefs Kingdom is out strong. They felt Chief concerns in the area. People bringing out their Chiefs jerseys coming out to dinner on a Monday night. So I thought that was funny.
Hey, look, you're starting to see Chiefs everywhere, and I appreciate it. My thing is, anytime I see somebody with a Chiefs outfit on, jersey, whatever, I'll go and give them a pound and be like, "Hey, man, there it is. That's how you do it. That's what's up." Oh, okay, I'm like, yeah. And then sometimes we get into it. He's like, "Oh, you played?" I'm like, "Yeah, I played." Then I tell my name. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Jason Dunn." So it was cool. It was cool. So you know what? I met some Swifties today. What? Actually, Yeah, so I went to a middle school, junior high school, okay, and I did like a little event. They had like a little flag football for the entire 7th and 8th grade. And so I was out there meeting the kids, signing some autographs, and of course, there's a lot of Swifties that was in there part of it. And so I was able to kind of talk to them a little bit. They were really giggled at the thing of having a Chiefs player there at the event. So, yeah, I told them.
Not only a Chiefs player, JD, a Chiefs tight end. Let's make it even more close to home.
Tight end, yes, Chiefs tight end. So now they were elated for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, speaking of flag football, I was telling you a little bit about it before we got on, but I want to let everyone know in the chat. Everyone knows, I play for Cobra Kai, my flag football team in the DC area. We were down 18-6 with 2 minutes left. My guys on my sideline looked at me like, "Take us home, man. Bring us home." Scored it. Scored 1 touchdown. Cut it to 18-12 with like a minute 3 left. We got a stop on defense. Like 45 seconds left. We drove down the full field, JD. We won 19-18 with 2 seconds left on the clock. So that video will be online in the next few days. I will post that when it does come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Woo, what we talking about, man? Come on now. Pat ain't got nothing on you. He rubbed off on you a little bit. That's how you do it, man. You had your theme music when you came in?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
the Jordan music, the song they used to play when they used to announce them. What's that song called? The bell. Yeah. I know it. Yeah, I have no idea what it's called, but I'm familiar with the sound for sure. Yeah. But JD, as you mentioned, there's a lot of good stuff going on in Chiefs Kingdom today. There was a few things that broke. Mainly, one thing really broke is the beginning of the schedule release starting to come out Wednesday. The full schedule will come out. We'll highlight all that stuff for our Wednesday night show. But the thing that started off is a rematch of the AFC Championship game. We're going to see that primetime week 1, September 5th. The Chiefs will begin the journey to the three-peat against the Baltimore Ravens right out the gate. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, which game we thought was going to be the number one, the first game of the season. We thought it was going to be Houston Texans, because usually the first game of the season, they're trying to put up somebody else like they did with the Lions last year. Because this game, Ravens Chiefs, it already has the allure, already has the star power. It has the Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. You don't need a lot of people to watch that game. That game's going to be a primetime game, week 1, weeks 8, week 12, regardless of when it happens. So I'm surprised they went out with it right out the gate. But I got to tell you, man, I feel like during the Brady and Manning era, you never really saw, yes, it was like Sunday night games, Monday night games. You always saw that. But to come out right out the gate with the two stars, the two faces of the league, the next Brady and Manning, to go right in your face and say, hey, these are the two guys, Lamar and Mahomes. These are the guys of the future. Not Josh Allen and Mahomes, not Joe Burrow and Mahomes. It's Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. The last two guys have pretty much been dominating MVPs over the last few years. It's those two. And I feel like bold move by the NFL, and I love it. I love this to right out the gate with this matchup. JD, what were your thoughts?
I do too. I think this is probably one of the best decisions to kick off the entire 2024 season. And so, like you said, who better than that to have the two premier quarterbacks in the league, right? In Lamar Jackson and all of his, the superior things he does on the football field, throwing the football, running the football. Now they got Derrick Henry back behind him, as well. And then you had Patrick Mahomes, right? And so I don't think you could have picked a better, matchup than that, right? And so I think a lot of it has to do with also too how everything ended for them, because everybody was picking the Ravens. The Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs, and Lamar's going to his first Super Bowl, and he's going to win it all, and all those different things. And we came in and rained on the parade. That's what they end up doing. Immediately off the bat, immediately start hitting them right there in their gut. And so all the little pundits and people that was on TV talking about picking the Ravens and, kicking their feet up. Hey, look, Chiefs had other plans, okay? Look, we knew what we was going to do. They took care of business and put them out to pasture. So they get to come and see what's going on, come check us out. It's going to be, man, I'm telling you, it is going to be rocking. It is absolutely going to be rocking. I got to be able to try. I got to make that game. I'm telling you right now. I'm trying to put it there so I could get there for that game, man. But yeah, I mean, who better you gonna get, right? Like you said, the luster and stuff. Look, Joe Burrow ain't got it no more. Okay, he's got to get himself back up again. All right, Josh Allen, those guys has been out of the way. They ain't got rid of everybody. Still trying to build their organization back up. Other than that, who else you picking? Well, who else has that about them? Oh, well, maybe think about Brock Purdy and those guys out there at San Fran, right? But those guys, we done beat San Fran the past couple of times, in the Super Bowl. So we good with them. We good with them. So this right here with Lamar and those guys, man, I think is going to be that was probably one of the better choices I think NFL's made for sure.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm seeing everyone in the chat. Everyone loves this Week 1 matchup, and yeah, it's the two teams that were in the AFC Championship game last year, which is great. It's great. The last time the Ravens saw somebody was the Chiefs. I gotta say that yes, they have Derrick Henry, but I think I want to ask you about this. Who's got more to prove going into this game to start the season out? Obviously, it's Week 1, so your season's not going to be made or break off this one game for either side of the team. As we saw last year, we lost the Lions opening night, and what happened? We won the Super Bowl. So it's not make or break by any means. But I think it's interesting because if you look at the retooling that we did this year, it's not really much. We lost Sneed, but outside of that, I love it. If you look at our starting receivers going into Week 1 last year versus what we as of right now, we see our starting receivers going to Week 1. It's like night and day. I mean, Kadarius Toney's like number 6 for us right now. Kadarius Toney was our number 1 last year going into the Week 1 of the NFL season. You got Ward, you got Hollywood Brown. The Hollywood Brown revenge effect, the factor there. A guy who was pretty much written off from Baltimore. He wanted out because he felt like he wasn't being utilized. No ill will. I think he said no ill will towards Baltimore, but he wasn't being utilized in that offense. And obviously, he's going to want to show out against his former team on the stage. Everyone's watching this one to start the season now. But look at the Ravens. They lost Geno Stone, who was their leading interception guy last year on that amazing defense. Patrick Queen is gone, and then Jadeveon Clowney, who a guy who's been around the block a little bit, but he would produce for them last year, and that was a team that led the league in sacks. He's gone. So they have Derrick Henry, great addition, but they have a lot more departures and a lot more question marks going into the season than we do. And I think it's a big game for both teams, obviously, but I think they have a lot more to prove than we do at this point. Obviously, we want to assert the dominance to show everybody we're going for this three-peat and show that to the world. But I think they've got a lot more to prove in this game because they have a lot more question marks than Kansas City going in as of right now.
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Okay. And the reason I say that is, obviously, we say Kadarius Toney when he started Week 1, he was hurt, right? We really have a true number 1, and then all of a sudden we probably will lose Rashid Rice as things may go. Right? I'm just going to speculate and say he's out. He won't be at that game. And then you got Hollywood Brown, right? And then you got Xavier Worthy, and so they still have a pretty good defense. We know that. One thing they said that they didn't do against us last year, which was their bread and butter, is they didn't run the football against us. That's what they said. And they said, they missed the bus on that. Well, how is it that you got Lamar throwing the ball when you should have been running the football? Well, you get rid of Dobbs and those guys, you bring in actually, a hoss. And I'm talking about this guy right here is a heavy hitter. Dobbs and Derrick Henry, night and day, like you said, night and day. This is going to be night and day. And so Lamar is just going to get behind Derrick Henry, man, and try to take, and pick the defense apart. Like you said, yes, Sneed is not there, okay, but we still got some sound guys on the outside that do a great job. They got Devontae, the dude we wanted from UNC, but he's got some capable receivers around him. Mark Andrews is there, right? He was kind of banged up last year for him. So it's going to be a good matchup. And I think for us, it's all about how we go. What are we going to do with all the things that's going on? Okay. And we got to talk about the distraction that comes on, how it's going to start the season out. I mean, seriously, that's going to be the reality. That's going to be the reality. So it may look a little different. We don't quite know. We don't have a Menahu either. He's not going to be playing in the game.
That was the game. That was the game he got hurt in.
Yeah. And so those things, man, it's going to be a difference. It's going to be a difference. But everybody always wants the Chief to prove and say, who are you? That's always the thing. I always want to say, I don't believe the Chiefs are as good as they say they are. Somehow they keep winning. They keep, getting lucky. And Patrick Mahomes and guys always be winning by the skin of their teeth. Well, I'll tell you what you do. You let these boys come on in here, okay? Beat them over the head, beat them for about 2 or 3 touchdowns, okay? And leave no question who you are, okay? As the world champs, as the Super Bowl champs, defenders going for the 3-peat. This is how you go ahead and put everybody on notice the very first game of the season, okay? So I say for us, we probably have the biggest thing to prove to everybody else is, are we as real as we say we are? Are we? And so that's going to be the question, I think, at least for me. That's how I look at it. Lamar, those guys, Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. So let's see. Let's see what else they got.
Yeah, Honor Brown's got a good comment here. One thing about the Chiefs versus Ravens, everyone has a bluepreint to beat the Ravens. The Chiefs are never the same team from game to game. I think it's a little different this year. We have Derrick Henry. What you said, JD. Derrick Henry's been one of the most prolific running backs the NFL's seen in the last 10 years. And I think, Henry's one of those guys where, like, you watched him run for a long time. He's got Baltimore Raven in him, if there was a guy where you could say, like, his playing style matches a team's, like, aura, Derrick Henry matches Baltimore and has matched Baltimore for such a long time. And honestly, and people may say he's fallen off a little bit because he's getting older, but, his numbers last year on a team that had no quarterback play were phenomenal. And their O-line was pretty atrocious last year. I had him in fantasy. I watched a lot of the games. There was nothing. He was getting guys in his face to touch the ball. I think with this offense, the way they are, with Lamar's running ability, I think it's going to be they're going to be a tough team to beat as far as stopping the run with them between Derrick Henry and Lamar. And I think what they avoid, what you mentioned, what they went away from in the AFC Championship game, not giving the ball to Gus Edwards after that first carry for 15 yards. And then they go back to him for the rest of the game. Made no sense to me. But with Derrick Henry there now, it's going to be kind of hard for them not to stick to the run and just at least see how that is against us and have somewhat of a kind of a balanced attack. Because that game, that was not a balanced attack at all. Like we got them to get out of that game and go through more of a quarterback duel match than actually have a balanced offense. They kind of went away from their game script altogether. So I think, it's going to be interesting with Derrick Henry there. Now I can't wait to see what that looks like. Could be a record breaker, to be quite honest with you, that as far as rushing offenses. Yeah.
And so I think when you have a guy like this, okay, what we know, it opens up the pass. Okay, we understand that. And so if you could really lean on a Derrick Henry, toting the rock and putting some pressure on your defense, you're at a better place. You are than a Dobbs and those guys. Yeah, that's just the reality of it. And so they got some capable receivers around them, some good tight ends. So they got guys. And so Lamar's going to have – he's a weapon in itself. So the offense is going to be all right. I'm going to say they're even better than they were last year. Not to mention, they re-signed – they will not re-sign, but they got Calvin Noy, got him out there. They got some guys now. So they didn't really go into it like dismantling everything they had. I think certain spots where they knew they were kind of deficient in that they wanted to address, and they did that. And so I think it's what you do is you got to, take a good look at everything that went wrong for you. Where are we not so good at? Okay. How can we bolster everything else around us? And so they went in methodically and just started doing that. Start making some different decisions. Start bringing some people in. And so if you have a big body, like I said, with him, then that changes things. Now, I'm going to go over here to the offensive side on our side, right? Same thing. We're going to have a brand new left tackle. We don't know who that's going to be. Okay? So that's the thing about it. That's got to win out in camp. If we don't bring any other help in, I think we're good at where we are. Now that first game is going to be a telltale sign of for things to come. And so they know that. Shoot, they immediately know they're creating plans right now on, well, guess what? They got a brand new left tackle. One is a second-year player, one's a rookie. Let's go and attack these guys. How about we do that? We got a guy on the right that was a right tackle who had the most penalties in the NFL at all linemen. So why not do that? So I know that this is something, man. I know they're already kind of salivating, licking their chops. This is what I love about, when you hear these things come out, the coach is going to work.
Yep.
Immediately, this game plan, let's go ahead. First game of the season, this is how we start drawing things up. And so, I'm excited. I'm excited, man, because it is going to be one of those things that it's not going to be an easy game, but I do believe it's going to be a huge challenge for both teams. Huge challenge for both teams. So,
JD, let me ask you. So I made a comment. It's more funny than anything else, and I kind of alluded to it earlier about Marquise Brown being the Marquise Brown revenge game. Someone said, well, he asked to be traded. It's not a revenge game. I just want to ask you quickly. So Hollywood Brown, he wanted to get out of Baltimore, and he was quoted saying after he left when he got traded to Arizona, it's about happiness. I want to feel like I'm a part of something to win. At the Ravens, I just felt like sometimes they really didn't need me, regardless if I was there or not. They were going to win games. Now it's not really much of a. Some people were saying it's not much of a revenge because he wanted out of there.
Yeah.
If anything, it's a revenge game for Baltimore. But you were a former player. I mean, when you leave a team, regardless if you're released or traded, you want to show them what they lost, though. I mean, it is a revenge in that sense. Not revenge. You have bad blood against the other team. You don't have bad blood, but you want to be able to show the other franchise, like, hey, man, I'm still young. You could have been doing this with me, but you didn't.
Yeah. Look. Anytime you leave somewhere, okay, and you say on good terms, you said you asked out, but obviously there was something there that you didn't like while you were asking for them to release you, okay? You didn't like the offense, how it was going. Sometimes it seemed like they might have been selfish. Some of the fans thought like, hey, look, if you're asking them to leave, right, because you feel like you're the guy, then guess what? We're going to give you that. We're going to let you walk. And so they did. They did. And it was almost like they threw him he got to the Arizona, which wasn't a contender of anything. And, for him, he's like, look, y'all going to throw me the chopped liver when I hit Arizona, of all places? Okay, fine. Throw me out in the desert. I got it. I tell you better. When I get back in here, when I get back playing these guys, guess what? I'm going to show exactly what you're missing, what you should have signed, what you should have changed your offense to be. Build it not just around Lamar, but also me. I'm your star receiver. I was your first round pick. I was your guy. But yet, y'all just threw me away like trash. And so for players, you absolutely want to get your team back. Okay? Not like you said, no bad blood. You don't want to hurt nobody, but you also want to compete against them. Yeah. Right? You want to have a great game. Hollywood Brown wants to have at least 180 yards, 2 tubs, okay? And wave at everybody on the sideline. That's it, okay? Sometimes you go over there and, he'll go to hardball and give him a kiss or whatever you need to do, right? So, something, just some type of antics, just to rub them the wrong way. And that's how it goes. Because when you play your team, everybody, oh, man, you was terrible. You garbage. Look at you. They ain't even using you over here either. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be a lot of trash talking. But no doubt about it, man. For Hollywood Brown, he is absolutely he's excited for this one to happen. He's excited. Yeah. So I get it. You know who I would feed coming into the game? Hollywood Brown. Feed that joker. Yep. How about you do that? Okay? You want a shot? You want a chance to show your team made a mistake? We're going to feed the ball to you. Okay? So,
And also to the whole Hollywood Brown thing, another thing that a lot of people forget is when guys leaving them maybe a few years ago, it's still the same front office. That's still the same head coaching staff. OC's gone. Roman's not there anymore.
He's gone. Yeah, right.
OC, but that's still the same head coach who drafted you. It's still the same front office who drafted you. It's still the same quarterback that you had. And still to this day, he's still the only 1,000-yard receiver that quarterback has had. So, yeah, I mean, I think I think he does have something to not prove, but something to show the other side. Like, look at me now, kind of thing. Like Chris Brown style. Look at me now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, something in the back of your mind. It just kind of sits there, right? It doesn't sit well with you sometimes. When somebody lets you go and you just like, I can't believe this. Okay, and I don't know if you ever been in the breakup. I've been okay, but sometimes
it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, I can't believe like this happened, right? And then maybe you see this person with somebody else, and you sit there like, this is really. This is the one that I got not necessarily replaced with, but I decided to leave the relationship. This is who you have right now. Okay, fine.
It reminds me of you ever see the movie Troy, based on the old. You see what I'm talking about? Where he's fighting Paris, and he goes and grabs.
Yes. Okay. So look, my daughter laughs at me all the time. Okay, because after that happens, because he's like, "Is that what you left me for?" Right?
Yeah,
love it.
exactly what I was thinking about.
I just watched it last week. Matter of fact, but there's when they're fighting, the funniest scene to me, I die laughing all the time. Is, of course, he's kicking his butt, he's throwing his shield, and his brother's laughing at him, right? Just like so obviously when his other brother, when he's like, look, he's done fighting, he's still my brother, and he kills him.
He's my brother.
He's my brother. Yeah, he stabs him. The other guy looks on, and they got the music, and he's like, he takes out running. My daughter laughs at me all the time for that one, man. I love that, but I love that scene. And you're absolutely right. Is this what you left me for? In front of the whole city. Oh, beautiful. Wonderful scene. Love it.
So that's gonna be Hollywood Brown without losing the fight. That's gonna be Hollywood Brown in Baltimore when he's putting up some yards in their ass. Yeah. But yeah, no, I love that scene for so many things. Being a brother and seeing your brother hurt and stuff. Say like it's against the rules of war. That's my boy. I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
Yeah. Hey, what they say? Everything's fair in love and war, right? Yeah. So if it comes down to it, I ain't gonna just let you just kill my brother. All right. Yeah. He said he's done. Okay, he's done. You go your way, we go back our way. All right, we'll just put our helmets on and go fight. But as far as like, you ain't gonna kill him at my feet. This sucker's up holding on to my leg too. Oh man, it's just what's his name? I can't even think. What's his the actor?
That was Paris. The guy who was fighting is Orlando Bloom.
Bloom. Yeah.
Eric Bana is Hector.
Yeah. Hector did a good. Yeah, Orlando Bloom and Eric Bana did a good job as Hector. Man, that movie is such a great movie. Like when he takes Hector, wraps him up, and just starts dragging him in front of everybody. Oh my gosh. It's just disrespectful. Oh my goodness. That's just a disrespectful move, just taking Hector and just dragging him in front of the whole city.
Yeah.
Some good parts of that movie, man. Great parts.
If you guys haven't seen Troy, you guys need to watch it. It's like a 3-hour epic movie, but amazing. You guys like the Iliad, the old Homer book. You guys need to watch Troy. It's fantastic. Even if you haven't read the book, watch Troy. It's all you need.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody here's seen Troy. I'm sure y'all have, right?
I hope so. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hollywood Brown's going to be doing some of that in front of Harbaugh's face a week one, the opener. What's amazing is I could be wrong. I hope people in the chat can clarify that. As far as I think Thursday is the season opener, and there's the game in Brazil Friday, the next day. Is the NFL just owning that weekend?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question.
I thought that was the let me see, It's Eagles and Packers, isn't it?
I don't know. The only one I seen was ours, and that's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be September 6th, Eagles and Packers.
Yeah. Okay.
September 5th, Chiefs Ravens Thursday night, and then September 6th, Eagles and Packers. You know what? Everyone, significant others need to understand that once fall hits, it's football time. So so Thursday to Sunday, clear the schedules. All right. It's going to be NFL, college football, all of it. All right. The significant others need to understand that. There you go. Brad Pitt had to pay Bana $750 for all the times he really hit him during the fight scene. Interesting. There you go.
How much money did he end up getting, Amder Brown?
Damn.
What was the total at the end?
Yeah, Melee Matrix and Steve Atkins is in the game the game in Friday is going to be in Brazil. Okay. I don't know what's the time difference from Brazil to America? Because I'm curious to see what time that game's going to be at.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But hey, man, Thursday, Friday, they're gonna kill the ratings. It's going to be a blockbuster weekend for the NFL, and it seems like it's starting a little earlier. I know it's after Labor Day, but September 5th, that's an early start.
Yeah,
it's around. It's always around that time anyway. But it is. That feels really early for some reason. I don't know.
September, that's about right, because you think, you're starting with camp July, August, September. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But now thinking, second week or so, you got 9/11, it usually comes, that time comes around, and usually something like that too. So, 750, $50 for each soft hit, 100 for every hard around the quality. Tough hit.
What clarifies as a soft hit versus a hard hit, though? I mean, this guy could be soft. He could be like an NBA player. He getting a hit, JD. He could be popping.
If he like visibly like comes out like, hey man, like lighten up on the punches, right?
All right. So JD, another topic I wanted to get to this episode. So obviously, last time we spoke, we were very certain Zay Jones would be a Kansas City Chief by the end of the week. Because Thursday morning he was coming to visit us, and Friday came, and then Friday afternoon came, and then it came out Zay Jones was signing 1 year, $4.25 million with the Arizona Cardinals. It sounds like a Veach special there with that kind of money, but it wasn't a Veach special. It was an Arizona Cardinals special this week. And JD, people online are people have floated bringing back McCall Hardman, Mr. Walkoff. People floated bringing back MVS. MVS is currently in Buffalo right now on a team visit there, so they may not be. And Mr. Walkoff, I'm hoping that the walk-off is more, I hope it actually is a walk-off. I hope he's walking away from from Kansas City. He served his time. He did his thing in Kansas City. He gave us a few rings, and I hope he can find another spot because I think, and I'll say this, I think last year we needed a speed guy. We didn't have that. We have a lot of that in this room now. It's kind of a redundancy to have him in at this point. So then it begs the question: Michael Thomas and Hunter Renfrow, JD, two guys we talked about last week. When it comes to those two guys, it seems like Chiefs game is pretty split on it. A lot of people say we don't need another small guy in Renfrow, and some people say Michael Thomas would be more of a fit to fill the Rashee Rice role if he's gone for an extended period of time. What do you make of all the names that are being floated out there right now? And also, what do you make of us letting Zay Jones come to Kansas City and leave without a contract?
Is this what you left us for? Going out of Arizona? Really? Zay? I don't know. Listen, and I've said this to you. I have no idea what's going on in negotiations. Tyler Boyd and Zay Jones both possibly could have signed here with the Chiefs for $4-something million, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen, and I don't know why. I don't know if they seen something that they felt like they were, lowballing these guys, didn't want to load up with incentives, or they just feel like it was a good fit. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. So, and my thing is, at this point, Marcus, I hate to speculate. I don't even know who they're gonna get. I have no idea if they're gonna get anybody. To be honest with you, they might be fine where they at. But if we're just talking as far as, the two guys you named, Michael Thomas or Hunter Renfrow, Michael Thomas was one of the best receivers in the game, okay? Leading receivers in the game. Have been riddled with injuries the past few years. Hadn't been able to put a whole season together for the past, I don't know how long, 3 years maybe? Like a full season, maybe even more than that. I would say maybe 4. And so that's always a concern. If a guy has can't just stay on the field, injury after injury, and I'm not talking about just like, hamstring. I'm talking about this is like major injuries, right? Like miss a whole season type of deal. And so you don't know what you're quite getting other than an injured player. He's got good hands, but can he still stretch the field? Can he still get open? Those are the things that you need to do, especially you got to play at a high level in the NFL. And so I don't know. about Michael Thomas. Now, Hunter Renfrow, we talked about trying to get him last year. I wanted Hunter Renfrow last year here with the Chiefs. I think he's a guy that gets open. I don't believe that he was being utilized out there in Vegas, especially with Adams and guys around him. So I think he was like the odd man out. They just didn't use him, and I don't know why. But I think he would be a guy that could come here. He runs great routes. He's got good hands. He knows how to get open. He's a baller. He's a solid receiver to me. You could say little guy, whatever. That's what we need in this offense. That's what we look. That's what we have. Look to the left, look to the right. Guess what we got? Smaller guys, little guys. That's our offense. Okay? Hey, how you doing? Hello, Chiefs offense. We're looking for the smaller dudes. Okay? So Hunter Renfrow fits the bill. I don't know how everything's going to work out with that. You know, if we're not signing Jay Jones and Tyler Boyd for $4 million, I mean, what are they trying to do? The only thing I could think of is that can't be true, because I would like they was probably looking for a long-term deal for the Chiefs, but they signed a 4-year because $4 million. You know, just like, no, let's do the one and done and get out of here. Chiefs is like, look, man, we already got one guy like that already. We want to keep you here for for the longer term. Can you do that? You know, so I don't know, man. I have no idea. I'm just going to sit back and watch like everybody else. This whole thing just happened. Okay. I'm just going to watch it because I have no idea what the Chiefs are thinking. What I thought they were thinking, what I thought seemed like a very practical decision to make, a very easy decision to make. They just didn't make it. And then when I find out that these guys are somewhere else and then sign for a whole lot of money, I'm like, well, I don't know. I have no idea. And then it makes me just think, well, maybe they're just good where they are. Maybe they're okay with what they got, right? And they're just going to rock and ride with what they, that's in the building. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Some people might be mad at it, but I'm not. I think they're capable of getting it done.
It's weird because, in recent weeks, Steve Atkins trade Rice in their first and the fourth to Seattle for Metcalf. I think no one's trading for Rice right now. So, I mean, that's not going to happen. Maybe the draft compensation, maybe, but I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. But that leads me to what I wanted to bring up is the fact that we obviously have interest in a veteran receiver. On draft night, we tried to trade. We call Seattle for DK Metcalf. That didn't happen, obviously. And then we brought in Zay Jones this past week. So obviously they know there's a need for having a veteran guy in that room. And also, too, not saying that Zay Jones and Metcalf are the same guy physically, but those are both bigger body guys. They aren't the smaller stature guys we're talking about. So obviously there is a need and a want for those type of guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, we won't offer $4.2 million for Zay Jones. Sure. But we are willing to take on DK Metcalf is going to make about 30 million, like 30 something next year and the year after that. So it's like, there's a disconnect there. Obviously we'd be willing to pay up for a guy like DK Metcalf, but we're not going to pay up for 1 year for a guy like Zay Jones. So it's like, it's just weird to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Me either. And then I think sometimes reports when they come out, maybe they just kind of, seeing what's going on, maybe seeing what they can get for a guy like this. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. You could have got a bargain deal for a guy like Zay Jones, who is a capable receiver, runs great routes, got good hands, would have been able to fit in this offense exactly where you want him to fit. Veteran guy. He's got everything that you need, okay? Because you got all the fast guys around you. So, Rick, I got to feel like they're done picking wide receivers this year. I'm in that camp right now. That's almost where I am right now with this. Not to say that they won't bring somebody during training camp in and say, hey, look, this guy can still play. Even McCall Hardman, they might still try to do that too. Marcus. But I don't know. Like I said, man, I'm falling back all the way. I'm like, look, let the Chiefs pick who they want to pick. It's on them. But when I'm looking at the wide receiver room, I see guys in there that are capable guys. Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Kadarius Toney, We got Sky Moore. Okay. We got guys. So Rashee Rice, and we don't know how that's going to turn out. So I think they might be waiting to see how everything is going to transpire too. Maybe they're like, okay, everything hadn't come down the table for Rashee Rice yet. All right. He may or may not be suspended for the entire year. Obviously, this right here, this whole debacle with whatever that was last week or the half prior to that, threw a hiccup in everything. Okay. Could be a violation and all this. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about that guy.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday topic with the developments in that story.
Yeah. So anyway, my thing is, they could ride it out. They could ride it out.
What do you think about Steve's comment here? I think Veach is waiting for June 1st. I mean, that's where you'll start to see some more guys be out there as far as free agents. I mean, that could happen too.
Sure. So, yeah, wait June 1st and see how everything works, right? And if teams don't want to pay the money for guys and let guys walk. And it's, I think that makes a lot more sense. It does. But because of the tight ends we have here, because of the wide receivers we have, I think they may just be okay. They may be okay. My thing is, I think I seen something up here in the chat I was looking at, and I was like, oh, so boy, went to where his OC got hired. Yeah, but when you're in a contention for a championship, man, why wouldn't you pick the Chiefs? You know what I mean? Why not? Shoot. So
yeah, and to piggyback off that as well, the comment boy went to where his OC got hired. I get that, but you're also right away you're going to be the number 3 receiver because there's D-Hop there and there's also Calvin Ridley there, and they're paying big money to both those guys comparatively to your 4.5 mil, I think is what he's getting. So like you're gonna be a number 3 there behind those guys. At least there's a shot with us. There's Hollywood Brown, there's Xavier Worthy. Those guys have their roles. There's going to be a breakup in that Rashee Rice reps big time because he's going to be gone. If it's not the whole year, he's going to be gone at least some of the year. So right away, man, you're getting reps in a spot that you won't be getting in Tennessee. And I get he already knows the offense there. Maybe Callahan brought him over there to kind of teach the other guys the offense there. I don't know. But I think there's more of a shot to showcase and also showcase for extra games too, because that's also another component to this too. Tennessee's not making the playoffs this year. There's extra games that Boyd would have been able to show out and showcase to other teams to get more than 4.5 mil next year in Kansas City. So that's also another component too. You're at least getting 3 extra games.
Yeah, at least. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, and you brought up Michael Thompson's missing games. JD, I just wanted to. It's pretty rough. You would think that at some point here, he, obviously everyone always says that the contract years, guarantee that guys play out, and it's just not the case. So 2019, he had that amazing season where he had 149 catches for 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns. So following up that 2019 season, 2020 he played in 7 games. 2022 played in 3 games. 2023 he played in 10 games. So, yeah,
it's not a good track record. That's not,
it's unfortunate.
It's damaged goods, and he's a hell of a player. When he's healthy, he's a hell of a player. So, would love to have him, but it's how things are going, right? So, we just have to see. I think the June 1st is that's definitely a marker that you could kind of look at and like, okay, what comes down the pipe then? Godwin, Lockett, Sutton. I don't see Lockett going nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he restructure? He restructured his contract. He wants to stay in Seattle for life. He's called Seattle his home.
Right. He just restructured. Yeah. It no sense to do that.
And plus too, I think there is some legitimacy to the whole June 1st thing because, all right, so Renfro, Michael Thomas, the 2 of the hot names right now. MVS also out there visiting teams. Michael Hardman. Obviously, the team isn't that high on any of those guys. So it's like, okay, let's wait to see what happens post June 1st with other guys there. Because right now, we're not attracted to these guys at all to sign him right now. So let's wait, see what other guys go into that pot there, and then maybe we can kind of look at it again. Because I think there is some legitimacy to that because they're obviously not high enough on any of the guys who we're talking about.
Yeah. And some of these people that they're talking about, like, John, I hear you say Adam Thielen. I don't think they're going to let Thielen go. They don't really have anybody over there either. I mean, you just got Xavier Legette, but you better keep Thielen. You better keep him.
Yeah,
he's a solid guy on your team. I wouldn't get rid of him. Tim Chapman, Vegas Kingdom, Chiefs Kingdom is always here. What's up, Tim? What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here.
Timmy C.
Yeah. So, man, my thing is June 1st, we'll see. We'll revisit everything to see what's going on. But as far as how things are, it's like scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're like what's all in here, right? Try to get that last little taste and last little bit. But you'll have a little bit things revamped a little bit on June the 1st. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see.
I will say, Rick Henderson talking about the receivers compared to last year. I mean, regardless of Rashee Rice, we've gotten better. They did check off those boxes this year going to this offseason.
100%. So we still got KT, still got Sky, right? We got Hollywood Brown, and we got Xavier Worthy. We are better than we were last year. Okay. Jalen Watson's still here. Justin Ross is still here. If he makes the team and makes the squad, right? And so the thing is, we are significantly better than we were last year. So almost night and day.
And plus, we're talking about speed. I mean, let's say Rashee Rice is gone week 1, which he probably will be. You got Xavier Worthy, you got Hollywood Brown, and you got Kadarius Toney. That's 3 guys who are very fast guys, and that is what this team thrives on. This offense thrives on. When it's at its best, it has a lot of fast guys on the offense, and that's something we were lacking big time last year, and that's why we had to go back to the well and get McCole Hardman at the trade deadline. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the speed can do on the offense again. And then also, too, I'm excited to see Sky Moore. I think you can speak to this, JD, since we're talking about Sky Moore.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like expectations, it seems like now at this point where he is right now, how much pressure is on him? I feel like the pressure of that burden that he had going into last year is like, because last year it was Toney, Rashee Rice, and Sky Moore. This year it's a bunch of guys, and then we finally get to say Sky Moore. Does that make it easier for a player where it's like those expectations? What it was 2 years for me, people aren't expecting shit from me anymore. So, like, does that make it a little bit easier? Like, you're more like I wouldn't say stress-free, but isn't a little bit of the pressure off there? Because, like, hey, man, like, no one's expecting anything from me. If I go out there and perform, like, I feel like last year and the year before, we were, oh, man, he's a second-round pick. He needs to come out and do his thing. You know, KT's hurt to start the season out. Sky Moore's turn. You know, like, is there do you, I mean, can you speak to that at all? Like, is there like less pressure?
I'll speak on this as a second-round pick myself. You definitely have some pressure to show that you've start to understand how everything works, okay? And you want to kind of carve out your role in an offense as much as possible. And so I think right now, Sky Moore has to remain focused on just taking care of what you can take care of. Right? Don't get hurt. But you understood maybe the second year wasn't what you thought it was going to be. First year, you kind of gave it in. Okay, fine. First year, you're still learning. Second year is like, okay, what will we get? This year, it's all about focus. And it is pressure right there. And here's the reality, though. The pressure that you feel for a guy like Sky Moore, when you start looking at other guys ahead of you that they got in here, if they bring somebody else, you could be gone. You could be the odd man out. You could really be the odd man out. So I think I'm looking at the stats right here. He had 21 receptions for 244 yards. You know, missed a couple games last year for us. But Sky Moore, I think, if he gives us 40 catches, it's a successful year for him. It's a successful year for us. And so if you got a guy that you don't see coming, and he's like, I'm just going to go to work. Everybody thinks most people think I suck anyway, right? I done heard I suck, and, Sky Moore, get rid of him. And I hate when people say that, because, they don't understand the lives these guys had to go through and the pressures they deal with on a daily basis. But but I'm rooting for Sky Moore heavily. I am. I'm rooting for Sky Moore heavily because to me, he's a guy I think can still give you something if you utilize him correctly. You don't have to put him in reverse. Yeah, put him in a slot a little bit more than what you have been doing. Let him do the double moves. Let him do the things that he has the strength in doing, right? That's part of his skill set. The things that make him dangerous. He's got good hands. We know this. So, you got to put Sky Moore in certain positions for him to win. Okay? You don't have to have him do it all. And I get like last year because we had the 7 receivers that we felt like we could put everybody in every position and just let them play. Looks great in training camp. Conceptually, that kind of makes sense, especially if this offense is a small man's offense. But then you start realizing, like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we don't need to be putting Sky Moore on the outside, getting the hands put on him, like Sneed did on Tyreek Hill. Maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe we could still throw some wide receiver screens out there. Maybe show us a wide receiver screen that we give him. Maybe a hitch or maybe a comeback on the outside. Maybe a slant. Sure, we can do those things with him. So I think you just got to pick and choose what you do with Sky Moore, right? So when you're dissecting your offense, you got to know what guys can do. And look, the Chiefs know what he can and cannot do. They know that now, okay? And so they're sitting over saying, Nagy, yep, good. Not for Sky Moore, not for Sky Moore. But these right here, he can run all these different things, and that's what we're going to do with him, okay? Hopefully a coach, hopefully Nagy, Andy Reid, and Connor have went to him and said, Sky, these are the routes we want you to run. And we want you to run these well. We want you to be the greatest you could possibly run this route at. And so if he does that, I think you'll give him something. He's a guy, like I said, somebody you don't see coming, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and a Sky Moore who you don't see coming, right? And Kadarius Toney, right? Justin Ross and everybody else. You got, everybody else around. You got the 3 tight ends, 4 tight ends, really. You got 4.
Yeah.
You got 4 guys. We can make some things happen, man, with this offense. Like I said, we are significantly better, even without Rashid Rice.
Yeah.
Significantly better.
100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Brennan here. I don't know why any Chiefs fans isn't pulling for Sky Moore to succeed. It makes no sense. I mean, any fan who's rooting against a player's downfall. I mean, you can may not want the team to. You can may want. I don't know how to word this. You may want the team to maybe move off a guy in the future, but while the guy's on the team to root against him, that's silly. That's silly.
Well, I tell you what it is. The reality is this. Everybody's looking for results. This is a production-based business, and everybody's looking for production, okay? And they don't have any patience to find out what a guy can and cannot do. They want immediately success. They want to immediately start from where you play, every position you play at, and that's what it is. And so it's I don't think it's shocking. People want that, okay? We live in a microwave world as anyway. And so everybody wants immediate results for this. I said this, I don't know if you remember, but I said that Sky Moore is a guy that will probably take longer to develop. It probably will.
Yeah.
So last year when he was, ended up getting hurt, obviously the receivers weren't playing well. When you got other guys in front of you not playing well and you don't get balls that you really want, that you need, they're not utilizing you like you should, then everything gets magnified, right? All the bad stuff get magnified. Then the whole suck and all these a bust and all these different things, that's when everybody starts rolling that out their mouth. Me on the ladder from somebody who played the game, 3-year project, I want Sky I want him to succeed.
Yeah. I
want him to see him do well this year. Then we have him the 4th year and all those different things. Then we can salvage this guy.
Yeah.
So
I think the bar, kind of what you said, but I think the bar has been lower for him now to surpass, because second round guy, first year people are like, okay, like you said, rookie, he shouldn't be returning punts, that's fine. Year 2, after having the game winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, it's like, okay, like, is he going to make that leap now? Tony's hurt, can he do it? And like you said, 22 catches, 200 something yards. I mean, he was a healthy scratch, or he went on the PUP or the IR the end of the season. Everyone's like, wait, what injury was that? No one even remembers the injury. And so there was kind of a weird thing there at the end of the season with him. And I think people just thought that, we get this 1,000-yard receiver from the second round, kind of the way Rashee Rice blossomed in year one. I think people expected that from year two from Sky Moore. And it didn't happen. And I think, like you said, if he gets 40 catches, I think that's like the pressure's off in the sense that no one's expecting him to get 1,000 yards anymore. People think we're going to get more of the 22 catch for 200 yards. If you can do more than that, I think a lot of people will be happy with that in Chiefs Kingdom, because I think no one's expecting 1,000 yards from him. No one's expecting a 90 catch guy from him. All the Golden Tate, comparisons that he had, I don't think anyone's expecting Golden Tate type numbers anymore from him. So I think it's more so just doing a little bit better each year as far as the numbers and stuff, because I think the bar is just lower for him now and the expectations aren't as high. So I think that's what we need to expect at this point.
See, that's why I hate people get into body types. Oh, he's got a body type like Golden Tate. Well, he ain't Golden Tate.
Yeah,
he's Sky Moore, and he's in a whole different offense. And so sometimes that's what you got to deal with. This is what ends up happening. But yeah, man, the bar is set low because, like you said, it hasn't been produced in the past 2 years. So yeah, he hits him over the head for 40 catches, 45 catches. Beautiful. Mwah! Perfect.
That's a
right?
win.
Yeah, because you're the role player. We need for you to be a role player, right? We don't need for you to be the man. You don't have to be the guy, okay? We got two guys. We got a first-round pick and a Hollywood Brown that we brought here, okay? And a Rashee Rice that we waiting to get out of trouble, and hopefully things happen. Everything moves fast and everything works out for the best. But right now, hey, man, you just go out there and you just play your position. Play hard, work hard, and just produce. That's it. And stay healthy. Stay healthy. So just keep your head down on the grindstone, man, and just go at it. That's best advice I could give a guy like that, man. Seriously. Yeah. Because it could be frustrating. Believe me, I went through that, the up and downs of it. And it's nasty. Because you play with your own mind, right? You think, well, daggone, I'm like, you've been doing this all your whole life, pretty much. And so, you just got to remind yourself who you are. And I think Sky Moore's got to do that. So I don't know what he did to get ready coming into the draft. Or I don't quite know what Sky Moore is. I haven't quite looked into it. But maybe you need to go out in the cornfield or something, man. Push around some bales of hay and a tractor or something, right? And make a movie out of it. I don't know. Yeah.
Get some hype behind his third-year campaign.
Yeah, like you just see him working out and stuff, like, Sky Moore, he's just focused up, like, oh, man, there we go.
Yeah, it is interesting because you feel like in this day and age of social media where kids and coming out of high school, they post so much things on social media to get them noticed by bigger schools. You think a guy like Sky Moore, who's maybe hasn't had the best first 2 years of his career, other than be seen in the background of Patrick Mahomes' Texas workouts, because he's not like a front man on that. He's like one of the guys to the side. Like, let's try to get some hype behind it. I don't know who his agent is or his PR guy is. Get some hype behind this third year and maybe get some excitement behind this campaign he's got. I like that, JD. I think we need to talk to his people and talk to his reps and let's get a marketing campaign for him.
Right. And so and here we are mentioning Sky Moore. And I'm seeing everybody in chat talking about Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney's almost in the same boat, right? Yeah. People are done away with him. He can't stay healthy. He's this guy, he's that guy. We don't really need him. Get rid of him. It's been a lot of that. And so, fans can be tepid in how they feel about players. And I understand how that works. But if he gives you something, if he becomes just an inkling of what we thought he was going to be, then that's better. That's another role player that can operate, because we have two solid guys, right? We have two solid guys. I forgot somebody said that in here. Man, let me see if I run down this. Ooh, y'all moving fast in the chat tonight. Robert Siraki, the new wide receiver group supposedly catches the ball, drops Costas, drives in yards. Let's go. Yes. So I believe this group of guys have better hands. I said tracking the ball last year was one of our issues and problems. The deep balls, we were horrible at. Horrible deep balls. Sometimes we couldn't even where the ball at. The guys are turning around. I mean, it was like what the hell's going on? What is
Sky
it?
Moore, Sky Moore had a big one. I think of the Packers game, I believe it was.
Packers, yeah.
MVS had a few. Who was supposed to be a deep threat guy. I mean, it was rough, man. And KT had a lot of drops across the middle. It was rough, man. We had some bad luck last year. I don't know bad luck, but just a lot of bad drops.
Right. Sandman says lots of wide receivers over the years didn't really show who they were until the third year. That's true. Hey, look, man, this is not a sprint. It's not a sprint. Sometimes you just got to have the patience and development. It does take time for some guys longer than others. And so, like I said, you got to have that patience, right? The Chiefs have patience enough in them. They feel like Sky Moore has everything in him. Same thing with Kadarius Toney. And so if you want to bring up Justin Watson or Justin Ross, you can bring those two guys up as well. Okay?
Yeah.
But I tell you what.
The Justin Ross difference there is the fact that he was an undrafted guy. Probably no one knew he was going to be able to play football again. Sky Moore's a second-round pick. So there's the expectations and the bar there. Like one's like, oh, he's going to make the team. The other one's, oh, man, he's going to get 1,000 yards for us. There's two total, it's like different expectations placed on the guys. It's where they're drafted,
Yeah, for sure. And then somebody made a point last week. I think he said Justin Ross was kind of coming along, was going to get some looks until he got into that whole situation, right? And that deterred him from what he needed to do. They put him on the back burner. He's lucky they didn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, shoot, for a guy like that, not drafted, and you bringing this mess? Okay, pack your bags, buddy. All right. Yep. See you later. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. There it is. Hey, see you out there in LA. Look at that.
My mom's Spanish finally rubbed off on me.
There it is. Hasta luego. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to the some of the comments here from the chat that I've saved and starred for you guys. Some of the questions you guys have asked throughout the episode. Donna Cochran, Steele is an RB, right? Just drafted, maybe. So Carson Steele was a running back fullback at UCLA. Bowling Green, then went to UCLA. He's a fullback. He's going to be used as a fullback. So we'll see if they end up using him in the offense. JD, you're big on bringing back the fullback. Oh, whoa!
No, look, we got 4 tight ends. Hey, if he makes the squad, he makes the squad, right? Shoot, if he's got talent, and I've seen him run, he's got something to him. But if just a fullback, we could just go do the little fullback dive every time he comes in. No, we need to scrap that immediately out of the playbook. Seriously, but he can move. He can move. He's a fullback that kind of runs like a halfback. Yeah. So yeah.
Because I think he was a running back at Bowling Green, but then when he went to UCLA and the Chip Kelly offense, they kind of used him more, a little bit halfback, but mostly in that fullback role. So
yeah.
Yeah. Melly Matrix, is the league purposely trying to make it hard as possible in the Chiefs to three-peat? Don't think any team wants to be on the wrong side of history. JD, regardless of a three-peat, back-to-back, whatnot, it's always going to be that way, right?
You know what? I do believe that they'll give the Chiefs a fair schedule this year. It's going to be hard anyway. There's a lot of new pieces coming into the league, some new faces, and I'm like, look, it's going to be a little bit different. This league's going to be a little bit different this year, man. I'm really, when I'm telling you, I'm excited for this season to come about. I'm really excited just to compete for guys going other places. Chicago looks loaded, right? Philly looks loaded. Ravens look like they added some people to Tennessee. So you start looking around. There's some teams out here, man, that's trying to do some different things. So some teams got some good quarterbacks, some new quarterbacks coming in. Wide receivers all different places. It's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun year. It's really going to be a fun year. So
yeah, teams are loaded all over the league, not just AFC, because usually it's like, oh, the NFC is so much stronger than the AFC this year. Both sides, man. Like NFC North, all of a sudden, that division looks like the toughest division in football. Green Bay looks fantastic. Detroit looks fantastic.
Green Bay, boy,
Chicago should be fantastic.
I forgot those guys up there. Yeah, in the North. Yeah, this is going to be. Yeah, it's going to be some sluggers up there for sure.
Yes, sir. Amna Brown, I'm more concerned about RB3. Pacheco and CH get dinged up a lot. That's a good point.
We'll find somebody. We'll find somebody. I'm not really as worried about that as we got guys here. I think somebody will emerge. Somebody's going to rear their head and say, okay, this is going to be our guy. So whether it be Daenerys Prince or whoever, right? And so they're gonna make sure they get a good look at who they have in camp. Probably go with him. But Pacheco and CEH are two good guys, I think. 1-2 punch. I like them. CH will give Pacheco a much needed break when needed. Or so I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine with the running back. Zammit, running back. Zammit. Wendy, I keep forgetting about Zammit.
Wendy's a big Zammit fan, man. She's huge on Zammit.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a project. I'm not banking on him to come in and fill in shoes for either CEH or Pacheco. I think we have a higher chance. I think we have a higher chance of Daenerys Prince, our guy, and TCU undrafted running back and Amani Bailey. That kid's a stud. And JD, you can give Tasia some crap for this. Tasia was saying that he saw a little bit Priest Holmesy. He said he saw Priest Holmes Jr.-ish in his running style.
In who?
And Emily Bailey from TCU.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
He said he saw similarities in the way they ran the ball. So
okay.
I think he was talking strictly college. The Texas TCU highlights is what he's talking.
Yeah. No, okay. I get it. I don't know.
Nonetheless, him and Daenerys Prince will be, and Michael P. Ryan will be fighting it out for the that third RB spot. And I mean, there's a chance there. I mean, hey, we found Pacheco's a 7th round pick, so no one at this point expected him to be the guy coming out of training camp. So
yeah, and you just really need 3 main guys. I think once you have those 3, then you're good to go. So we're gonna be throwing the ball down the field, but for sure, Pacheco, CH, another guy comes in maybe, and we'll see what we have. So.
John Clifford, how fast was Justin Ross in college? Justin Ross, I believe he ran like a 4.6 or high 4.5, but when he ran, it was a pro day, it wasn't at the combine, and he was just coming off a stress fracture surgery that he had in his foot. So that wasn't he tested because he had to test because he felt like he needed to in order to get drafted, or at least it looks. But that 4.6 it might have been. I remember it was kind of it was a 4.6 with an asterisk because he just got the foot surgery. And then remember when we signed him, immediately we put him on the PUP because he got an additional foot surgery again to correct the previous surgery. So, I mean, take the 4.6 with a grain of salt. I think coming out of high school, he was probably with mid 4.5s. So, I mean, he's not a burner by any means, but I wouldn't say he's as slow as a 4.6, 5 or whatever it was.
John Clifford, you on one tonight, man. He said they hold the ball in the same hand. Talk about Priest and a TCU guy.
Yeah, I talked to Tasia about that one. I couldn't believe it because Tasia, huge, probably one of the biggest Priest Holmes fans I've ever met. I don't know if I ever told a story for it. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble over this. When Tasia was in high school, he was before he was 18. When Tasia was in high school, there was a street around our area called Holmes Run Drive. Tasia one night with his friends went and took that street sign down and has that still hanging in his childhood room. So,
allegedly.
I don't know if it was him or somebody else. Somebody he knew.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So for Tage to say that Emily Baylor reminds him of Priest Holmes is very interesting from a guy who's a huge Priest Holmes fan. So I thought that was an interesting one from him. And last comment that I have here, I'm looking forward to seeing what Tube does with these new kick return rules. Worthy and the rugby guy could be fun weapons. Wendy, Zammit, your guy. Yeah, I mean, I think if there is a world where he does make the team, I think it's going to be in the being a kick return kind of guy in that kind of way. I just don't. I don't see any other way he makes a team. To be quite honest with you.
And going down making tackles, so he doesn't count against the rock. So that's the thing about it. So he's good to go because he'll be here. They don't count against us at all.
Sandman, yeah, Ross ran at 4.64. Yeah, I remember his time was slow, but that was because he was just coming off the stress fracture surgery, which we had to correct a few months later. So obviously it wasn't healed properly at that point. So,
man, that's an hourglass for a wide receiver.
Who, Ross?
Don't say it. Here you go. Go.
It is.
I'm just messing with you.
Big body though, big frame.
Big body. Yo, we don't want that joke could go up and go get it. He can climb the ladder, go get it. And then sometimes that's all you need. Okay. We got the fast guys. We already got those. We got the gazelles on the outside already. Okay. So we good at that.
Yeah, we got plenty of those. All right. All right, guys. Well, like we said, we appreciate everyone, coming in a little late tonight, a little Chief Concerns After Dark episode. I know we do love doing those specifically when it comes to post game shows when we have primetime games. But it was nice to get on later with you guys. I feel I'm really appreciative of JD for allowing me to spend a little daytime hours in Cali and be able to get on late tonight, buddy.
Oh man, hey, appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. Hey, thank you, Mel Matrix. I'm the Brown, Duncan Pond, John Clifford, Wendy, Sandman. Who else we got? Rick, good seeing you, man. Kathy. Let me see who else. Donna. Yeah, Mike Brennan, Steve. Everybody was in here.
Duncan Pond. Yeah, we had a lot of people.
Yeah, you said Tim. Yeah. Thank y'all for staying up with us. I know it's about 10:19 out there, 10:19 out there in Kansas City. So
yeah, 8:19 over here. So I still got a few more hours.
Man. Yeah. You go do some sightseeing, go see, maybe you just got in town, go check everything out.
I'm not doing any sightseeing tonight, JD. I'm hunkering down here. Tonight, I'm not doing any sightseeing. I'm gonna go probably go have a beer with my girlfriend and her sister. So
that's what I mean. Just walk down the road, see some little shops, or just see what's in the area, right? That's it.
Check out downtown Riverside.
Yeah.
But all right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you guys hopping on tonight. You guys are amazing, even on the late hour. We'll be back on Wednesday night with a special treat. Right. I'll be doing the show from Santa Monica with my brother Tasia. So you'll have two shot, but you'll have two of us in one shot, and with JD on the other screen there for our Wednesday night show to recap, analyze, and break down the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs season. I cannot wait to see that schedule, JD. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good show on Wednesday.
Yeah. Great show, man. We might even have as a guest on Wednesday. So, waiting to hear back. So I'm excited. But good seeing you all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, and chopping it up with us over here with the Chief Concerns family. Love you guys. Trey L, see you over at 2, brother. All right.
Love you guys. Kathy, Wendy, I see you guys being naughty on the chat. I see you guys.
I see that. I was like, I wasn't going to say nothing. Yeah, yeah, Marcus. Go ahead. Go at it, brother. Have a good one.
I had to shave my neck hair. I looked gross earlier, guys. I had to shave because I'm gonna shave Saturday for the wedding. I shave now so I can hold it till Saturday. I want to get like any razor burns.
Yeah. All right. I seen you get red real quick. See, y'all got Marcus blushing. Wow. Look at it. That's all right.
It's sunburn, JD. I'm in the desert over here. It's sunburn, JD.
I got you.
All right, love you guys.
Man. Yeah, have a good night, man. Love you, Marcus. All right, I'll see you later, brother. All right, talk to you. All right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.